I do think that most people struggling with addiction need to run out of options before they ask for help. It's very few and far between that you hear about the person who's, you know, begging to go to treatment, and they've got the apartment, they're making ends meet, they're paying for their food, all the luxuries that they want. They have their Netflix, their Hulu accounts, and they have their drugs or alcohol or whatever's feeding that addiction. You don't hear them begging to go to treatment. In more cases, in 99.9% of the cases, you hear the person who is, the options are running low. Things are being cut off, relationships, money, apartment living, whatever it may be. The options start to run out, and that's when they say, I need to make a change. You hear people say, oh, they need to hit rock bottom. They need to hit a rock bottom. Well, that can look like a lot of different things. I think there can be physical bottoms. I think that there can be emotional bottoms. And in my personal journey, I was in a place where my dad had just passed away. I kept trying to make my addiction work and sustain it and have enough money coming in to where I could afford to live, but also provide the drugs and alcohol to get me by. And I couldn't keep up. It was like this game of I'm constantly chasing my tail, trying to keep up, and I could never catch it. I could never keep up with the game. So I had to hit this point. Also, mentally, I'm struggling in and out of drug-induced psychosis. I had a psychologist tell my mom that I was never going to be fully functioning again, that I would always struggle. Um, Little did he know how much the brain can heal itself. But I had to have all of this stuff happen to me before I asked for help. And I found help. My mom sent me to a treatment, and even, I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but like first day in, second day in, third day in, I'm calling her saying, please come get me. And then she had gotten to a point where she wasn't going to step in anymore. She got to a place, as most families have to get to if they need to get their loved one and keep their loved one in a safe environment and a lifestyle of recovery. But they have to get to this place of, I love you, and I'm not willing to support your journey anymore when you're in addiction. I'm willing to support this recovery journey, and I'll even support you being in treatment, and I'll do what I can to support you while you're there. But you step out of there, I'm not supporting the lifestyle that you have been choosing to live. Um, and I think it's the best thing that families can do to motivate their loved one into getting treatment, their child. A lot of people say, oh, it's so much easier for the adult, for the 40, 50-year-old to get sober. But I would disagree and say it's easier for the kid, for that 17, 18, 19, 25-year-old, if their family is willing to hold boundaries, if the family is willing to step in and they've been offering some line of support, whether that be an apartment, whether that be paying the phone bill, whether that be providing a roof over their head or food, if they're willing to cut that support, it can be very motivating for that individual to change their lifestyle.